I've got a question for you, my fellow workforce millennial. How many leave days do you have left at the end of each year? 5? 10? Don't you dare say 15. Leaves, whether they're annual leaves, sick leaves, and maybe even your birthday leaves, they're meant to be used. Some companies will let you save all of these leaves in exchange for money. But unless you're doing that on purpose, I want to tell you in this video that you should definitely use your leaves. Welcome to Better Today, a place where young leaders like you come for work-life motivation and inspiration. This series, Work-Life Rants, is all about work-life rants. Because sometimes a rant is the best way to get a point across. In today's video, let's talk about leaves and whether or not you should take them. Spoiler alert, the answer is definitely hell yes. For the sake of simplicity, let's talk about the two most common leave days that you might be getting from your company. Vacation leaves or VLs and your sick leaves or SLs. The crazy thing is that VLs and SLs are not actually required to be given to us employees under Philippine law. I was pretty surprised when I learned this. If you do want to check out the list of leaves that employers are required to give us employees, check out some of the stuff that I'll be leaving in the description below. Anyway, from the get-go, I hope that you are working in a place that actually does give VLs and SLs. VLs, sometimes called annual leaves or ALs in some companies, are the days we're supposed to use when we go on vacation, rest and relax, or feel like just not doing any sort of work for that day. These are the leaves that I strongly believe you should be using as much as possible. Even if you do not have a vacation planned, these are leaves you can use on days where you just want to do things that you really want to do or love to do, like hobbies or watch Netflix all day or sit around on the couch, do nothing, or watch Netflix all day. SLs, on the other hand, are the ones we're supposed to use when we feel under the weather or when we get sick. I would also argue that SLs should be the leave days that you take or use up on days where you need a mental health break. Some companies will disagree with me, some will agree, but that's my personal stance on that. SLs should be okay for mental health breaks. So if you're pretty lucky and you are in a generally good shape, there's a good chance that you will not be using up your SLs. Come to think of it, because it's not required by law to be given to us employees, I think that not using up your SLs, if you're healthy, that should be okay. Okay, so let's talk about these VLs and why I think you should be using them up as much as possible. As someone who has spent almost 10 years in the hustle and bustle grind culture of advertising, I can tell you from firsthand experience that sometimes you could feel a little bit guilty about using your vacation leaves. Maybe no one else is literally making you feel guilty, but if you're surrounded by colleagues who work from 9 to 9 and work on weekends, birthdays, and Christmas Day, it can feel pretty crappy to be the guy who's taking a break to watch Netflix all day. Let me tell you straight up, now that I get to look back on that 10 years, no one, and I mean literally no one, should be able to make you feel guilty about taking your VLs. And there are zero reasons for you to feel that you shouldn't take your VLs because there's too much work. First of all, those VLs, they are yours. No one is supposed to tell you how you should use them. If you want to use your VLs to do an errand like renew your passport or do some shopping or just catch up on sleep, use them for whatever reason you need to. Secondly, the company that you work for, they're just going to be perfectly fine if you're gone for a few days. If you're just so freaking tired with work and bad hours, what makes you think that you can give your 100% if you're so tired all day? You are not a machine, and even machines break down and need a tune-up once in a while. If you take the time to plan your VLs 2, maybe 3 weeks ahead of time, trust me, your team is going to be fine. We're just not that important, believe me. This is gonna sound really morbid, but remember that if we die, knock on wood, our companies will move on. Someone in a few weeks is going to take over our role. The work will go on. So for the love of God, put yourself first once in a while. Thirdly, if you think about it, VLs are actually free money. And that's as good a reason as they come. VLs are paid days off. Paid days off. If you choose to watch Netflix all day or sit on the couch and do nothing, your salary stays the same. By not using up your VLs, you're turning down the chance to spend a few days to do something that you really want or love to do and get paid for the time that you're doing that. The only logical reason that I can think of where you would choose not to use your VLs is if your presence, like your literal physical presence at work, is absolutely necessary for the survival of your company. That doesn't happen all that often, if at all. So you're probably safe if you take a VL once in a while. If your company or your boss or HR ever makes you feel guilty about taking a vacation leave, that should honestly be a big waving red flag in front of your face. A red flag on the kind of culture and work environment that you are currently in. So I'm guessing you know what to do if you see that red flag. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you love it. I'm Jason, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.